What is happening, everybody? A happy Tuesday to all you PGA DFS fans joining me here today on the top 5 sleepers video for the Players Championship. This video sponsored by Yahoo. What I'd love for you guys to do is like and subscribe to our Awesemo YouTube channel here. And of course, our Odds Shopper channel. It is the best way to get notified when our plethora of fantastic content for the players or any other week comes live. Of course, make sure you give me some comments below on what you think about these sleepers that I'm about to jump right into here this week at the Players at TPC Sawgrass. First guy I want to talk about is Ghim. Now, he's had a terrible year. A couple of missed cuts, doesn't rank inside the top 50 in any strokes gained, ranks outside the top 100 in 3 strokes gained. Those are all reasons probably not to play him. One of the reasons why I do want to play him is golfers below 6,500 this week. I want to find somebody that actually has some good feels around this course. Ghim, well, he was on the first page of the leaderboard for quite some time last year before his debacle, I believe it was on Saturday. Ended up finishing 29th, but went through a good stretch here in Florida, ended up probably earning a spot on the PGA Tour for it. Hasn't been the case for him recently, miscut. Because of that, he's going to come in less than 1% owned. So if we go 5% of Ghim, we'll have way more than the field does. And if he gives us one of those upside weeks, we will love the spot for him. So let's go ahead and dive deeper into the strokes gained. He's not very long off the tee. And when he's not long and he's not accurate either, you're not going to gain any strokes. You're going to lose a ton. And he has done that this year, ranked 173rd, 51st on the approach, 106 around the green, and 188 putting. He's pretty good around the green. Does feature some chip-ins this year, a couple of hole-outs. So Ghim, I really like the fact that he's less than 1% owned and does have some good feels around this course. So we'll give him one more chance. Speaking of good feels around this course, Brian Harman, the guy has 3 top 10s in his starts here, working off of back-to-back top 10s in the last 2 starts, as we did miss the COVID year there in 2020. It got canceled after the first round. So last year came in 3rd. In 2019, he came in 8th. Working off of okay for him. He missed the cut in his last start, but came in 14th before that. And when we take a look at his strokes gained, we see maybe why he hasn't had a great year, but is starting to come around. First off the tee, he's ranked 115th, 139 on the approach, 81st around the green, and 87th putting. No way he's really that bad. He was top 40 in both of those categories last year. So look for Brian Harman to bounce back here this week on a golf course that he clearly likes. He does have a couple miscuts, as you do see with a lot of guys on this golf course. Just a ton of variability with how much water and trouble is lurking. Okay, let's move on to Justin Rose now. Justin Rose coming in at $7,400 this week. And last week, everybody wanted to talk about him. Now, coming to this week after a miscut, nobody wants to talk about him. Last year, he didn't play here because he withdrew at the Arnold Palmer Invitational on Saturday. Yes, of course, I know why. Jordan Spieth was going crazy playing with Jordan Spieth. Spieth had a hole-in-one and then birdied the next hole, and Justin Rose was like, listen, I don't want to watch Spieth do this anymore. Withdrew, then couldn't play the Players, and we didn't see him for some time. But he says he's healthy now. We can look at his strokes gained stat and see if what he's telling us is true. When we look and see that he's ranked 89th off the tee this year, probably means he is getting a little bit healthier. He does not really hit it all that long, but longer than average. He definitely doesn't hit that many fairways, at least not more than the average. So to see him in the top 100, I like that. It's a good sign. On the approaches, 112th. That's not bad. 171st around the green. I think he's played some courses that are very difficult around the green because he's nowhere near that bad. And 46 putting has kind of been his MO. So we've got good course history. We've got good, pretty decent recent form other than the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And we've got less than 5% ownership. Do like Justin Rose a bit this week. All right, these next 2 golfers, if you're new to PGA DFS, you've probably never heard of Ghim, but you've likely heard of these last 2 guys. First one I want to talk about is Tony Finau. I've been doing this for 6 years, maybe on my 7th year now, coming up to close to 7. I started in March about 7 years ago. This is the lowest ownership I've ever seen Tony Finau at. He's projected at 2.9% owned at $8,500. Now, I know he's not playing well, like not playing well at all, and he's got some variability here. He's missed the cut and come in 22nd in his last 2 trips. And most recently, he doesn't have a top 10 in the last 12 weeks and only 1 top 20 with 2 missed cuts. It seems like there's a lot of variability in his game, which is probably why nobody wants to roster him. Now, when we take a look at his strokes gained, why he's not performing as well as we typically are used to with him. Well, 52nd off the tee and 12th on the approach, that certainly seems good. But where the big problem lies is his short game. Last year, he was ranked inside the top 20 in strokes gained around the green, which negated his outside of the top 100 putting. But the fact that he's 149th around the green this year, that's going to push his putting up to 203rd. That is awful. I don't care how good of a ball striker you are. There is no chance that you're going to be able to do anything. So for Tony Finau, I like the fact that he's only 2.9% owned. I can get 10% of him, not feel like I'm overexposed, and get a guy that clearly, when he gets it rolling, is one of the better players in the world. Now, I know he's not right now, but certainly we've seen it in the past, the Ryder Cupper and so much. So take a strong look at Tony Finau this week. All right, and this next guy, I know hasn't played all that much this year, and he's only made one cut in 2 tries on the PGA Tour. He has no top 10s on the PGA Tour. He had one on the Asian Tour down in Saudi Arabia. But he hasn't missed a cut since his withdrawal, and we could even consider that a not missed cut, since 2013 here at this golf course. And I'm talking about Dustin Johnson. He's coming in with less than 5% ownership, probably the lowest I've seen him ever, especially given the fact that he's not over $10,000. You got to take a look at him. So for Dustin Johnson, who, like I said, has not missed a cut here since 2013. In his last outing, which was obviously last year, he came in 48th, not his best. But before that, in 2019, came in 5th, 17th and 18, 12th and 17. So you can see the upside is there. But nobody wants to play him this week. So again, going 10 or 15% Dustin Johnson, especially say in that Millionaire Maker contest, he could certainly be a big part of helping you win a contest like that, especially if he finds himself in the top 5 here this week. All right, so that's going to do it for me here. Before I get out of here, let's go 5-1 quickly, since I may have been a little long-winded talking about Finau and Johnson. It's Doug Ghim, Brian Harman, Justin Rose, Tony Finau, and Dustin Johnson. Now let's tell you about Yahoo quick before we get on out of here. We've got a sweet deal going on with them where if you haven't played over on Yahoo yet, all you got to do is go over there, deposit, enter your first paid contest, and for that, you are going to get a free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum that gives you access to all the sports we cover here, not just golf, all the sports we cover. We've got NBA in full swing, MLB, and we've got NASCAR and, of course, esports and so on and so forth. So great time to join us here on the Awesemo Plus side and become a member. Of course, you get our Discord chat with that as well. So if you are playing Thursday, the PGA DFS contest, and you want the Yahoo projections for this week, send an email to support@awesemo.com. Okay, that's going to do it for me here this week at the Players Championship. Praying somebody wins the $1 million from our community. Would love to see that happen. Certainly for, I think most, would be life-changing money. So good luck next week at the Players Championship. We will see you next week for my home event here in Tampa, Florida for the Valspar Championship. So until then, everybody, good luck, and we will see you on the other side. Cheers.